Catch me on the downslide, downslide, down. I'll be heading up in the wild, chillin' low.
Yeah, foot on the gas, yeah, I'm on the way down. Move out the way, yeah, it's about to go down. Coming in hot, I ain't finna back down. Won't give it to me, I'll take that crown. Moving and shaking, I'm shaking the ground. Gotta stay ready, I'm ready right now. I bring the noise, they ain't making a sound. It's quiet for you, cause I'm revving up now. Take the safety off it. Click, boom, take my advice and everything I do is A1, go get that bag off. I've been moving heavy, now these bitches playing catch up. Enough for the clutch, I press the clutch if they won't act off. You can get it smoke if you wanna take that mask off. Take the safety off it, click, boom, take my advice and take my advice.
YouTube family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, man, go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, bam! I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. Yo, fam, so check it. Do me a favor. Down below, you will see the link to the 2A in LA official merchandise website. If you want some 2A in LA gear, that is the place to go. And also, fam, if you look down below as well, hit that join button. For a minor fee, fam, you get access to all things 2A in LA. Pre-release video, you get access to all of the major giveaways that we do every year. Fam, don't miss out. All right, back to the video. All right, fam, let's get this episode rolling. So look, fam, a few episodes ago, I did the revisit of my Benelli M4. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go back and check it out. My Benelli M4, fully improved, scored an 89 out of a possible 100. And of course, as I said in that video, when you think of tactical shotguns, the name Benelli immediately comes to mind, and the M4 is kind of the pinnacle and the gold standard for that line. Consequently, so many companies have come out with M4 clones over the year, and you're seeing a lot, especially now that the patent is gone, you're seeing a lot of these Turkish imports come in for Benelli. And it's rumored that even a lot of the parts that go into the Benelli come from Turkey. And so I don't know how much truth there is to that. When we do the comparisons kind of head to head, we'll get into that a little bit more. But the reason I brought out my M4 in the first place was because I knew that this review was coming. And so we did a review on the Benelli. We're going to do a review on this this Turkish clone, and then we're going to do a head-to-head video. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. And the gun that I'm talking about is the Orthos Raider M4. Fam. This gun was provided by 2A Zone for review. And I gotta say, just off the rip, just based on aesthetics, this gun is killing. This gun is killing it. A lot of the improvements, if you look at my Benelli M4 video, a lot of the improvements on my Benelli M4 are standard here. It's got that, I got rid of my Benelli M4 handrail to replace it with that Striker Industries tactical handrail, and this has it built in already. It is also ported, if you can see that right there. It's got a carbon fiber extended tube, which is nice. It's got the rail scales on the side of it as well. It's got the carbon fiber adjustable stock. It's got a base pad. Again, I had to add these things to my M4. It's got a high quality trigger in it. I had to upgrade the trigger pack in my Benelli M4. So this is a feature rich gun. Now, the Benelli M4 out of the box is around $2,000. When you add all of the extras that I added to mine, it's really closer to $3,000. We're going to get into the review, but you're going to find out that this gun, as you see it here, even with the limited edition camo that's on this gun that does not come with this on the standard Raider, it's a fraction of that cost, almost half of that cost. And so when you start thinking about it in that term, in those terms, then this gun becomes a lot more attractive. But look, let's get into the review. All right, fam, if you've never seen a 2A NLA review, kind of works like this. 0, hot garbage, 100, best possible gun ever. 50 to 60, kind of right down the middle, gonna go bang every time. No feels, no thrills. If you got something 60 to 70, okay, that gun has a feature or two that kind of separates it from the mean. If you got something 70 to 80, now you're cooking with gas. Now you got a gun that's more feature rich, and if you got something from 80 to 89, okay, now we're getting into kind of best in class guns, and 90 above, grill gun status. All right, fam, let's get into the fit and finish. So I'll run a little bit of B-roll and kind of walk you through the specs on this limited edition Orthos Raiders S4. The Orthos Raiders S4 is chambered in 12 gauge. It's a gas operated semi-automatic shotgun. It operates 2 3/4 and 3-inch shells. Has capacity of 7+1. Barrel length is 18.5 inches. Barrel is made out of 4140 full steel chrome lined. The receiver is T6 7075 hardened aluminum. Handguard features an M-lock rail and is aluminum. Top mounted rail Picatinny. It has a Benelli standard choke system. Has an adjustable stock with shock force recoil system in it. Has ghost ring plus Fibertron LED fiber optic on the front. Features an oversized charging handle, a large enhanced lever, oversized safety switch, weighs approximately 9 pounds. Overall length is approximately 40 inches, and it comes, as you can see, in a limited edition Cerakote camouflage pattern. All right, fam, so those are the specs of the gun. Relative to the fit and finish, it doesn't disappoint, fam. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. The fitment of the shotgun, The way it handles, put a lot of rounds through this by shotgun standards. Probably maybe about 250 rounds or so through it. And we'll get into, reliability, but I think it's well done. Surprisingly well done. Is it the same quality level as my Benelli M4? No, but I would say it's close. It is very close, and it's a lot more feature rich than the Benelli out of the box. So look, for fit and finish, this bad boy gets a 14 out of a possible 15. Next up, reliability. I ran about 250 rounds through it at the range. That's a lot. That's a lot of kick to be, and a lot of loading for this kind of shotgun. But yeah, fam, it ran flawlessly. I had no problem with it whatsoever. I always say keep in mind that this is a one of one, and I haven't seen a ton of review on Orthos. Most of the ones that I've seen though are positive. So look, fam, I'm gonna give it for reliability again a 14 out of 15. I almost gave it a 15 out of 15, but it just doesn't have the same kind of track record of performance like Benelli has, or the Beretta 1301, for instance. But I'll tell you what, I had zero problems with it. So again, for reliability, 14 out of 15. Durability, this one is hard, fam, because I think really at the end of the day, this is the most important category and really the hardest one to kind of speak on. If you've got like a Daniel Defense rifle, or my Benelli M4, or the Beretta 1301 tactical, like there's tons of these guns out in the wild, and people have been running them for years and years and years and years. It's just not the case with the Orthos. And so, yeah, it's holding up fine after 250 rounds. I don't know. It's hard for me to speak to on how well it would hold up long term. It seems very durable. It seems well constructed. They are using quality parts, but again, hard for me to give you something definitive there. And I don't want to overstate the durability in a review based on 250 rounds through a gun that I have to return after the review is completed. That said, if I had to give you a rating based on what I've experienced so far, I would say for durability, I'm going to give it a 14 out of a possible 15. But I would say just take that rating, the durability rating, with a grain of salt, given the limited amount of rounds that I've had through it and the track record. All right, fam, next up, trigger. Y'all know your boy is a trigger snob. I'll put the trigger pull weight up there. I'll tell you this, the trigger felt pretty good. The trigger felt pretty good. It felt very reminiscent kind of my Benelli M4 upgraded trigger. I think it's probably better than the Benelli trigger out of the box. And is it as good as my Genesis? No, it's not that, because this is not meant to be a competition shotgun. It's a tactical shotgun. But I'll tell you, you're at the wall. There's no take up. Man, smooth. It's a smooth trigger. That. If I had to give you a kind of word to describe the trigger impulse, I'd say it's very smooth for a shotgun, right? This is not a 2011 or something like that. I'd say it's very smooth for a shotgun. Very reminiscent of my upgraded Benelli M4 trigger, only this one comes that way out of the box. So salute to Orthos for producing a good trigger. Not a great trigger. I don't know if even my Genesis, which is a very, very good shotgun trigger, is not great. Right? but very, very good. So for trigger, we're gonna give it a 12 out of a possible 15. All right, fam. Next up, accuracy. Look, this is a shotgun. Shotguns are meant to spray, right? They are meant to cast a wider net, unless you're running slugs. And even then, still, slugs compared to something that is more precise, like a pistol round or a rifle round, different, right? But I did find the gun to be accurate. And then, you know, when we're talking about accuracy, we're not just talking about barrel accuracy, as I often explain. We're also talking about kind of the shootability of the gun. How easy is it to remain accurate when you're shooting at higher rates of speed? I'll tell you what, the gun is very well balanced. We'll get into that when we start talking about the ergonomics. But the porting here does help. It keeps the gun flat. I would not say, I think some people think of porting and they think, oh, it's going to soften the gun. It doesn't really soften it, but it does keep it flat. It aids in keeping it on target. So while this is not a precision tool by any stretch of the imagination, as shotguns go, it's pretty damn precise. So for accuracy, we're going to give it an 8 out of a possible 10. All right, fam. Next up, ergonomics. Very good. Very good. You know, my kind of one criticism, and I talked about this when I did my Benelli M4, I think same is true for the Orthos, and that is that they're long. These tactical shotguns are long. So if you're trying to get this, if you're in an apartment or you're in a modest home where you have hallways and sharp corners, this is probably not going to be your weapon of choice. That said, for a weapon this length, it is very well balanced. Again, very reminiscent of the M4, which is not a surprise because it's an M4 clone. The grip is comfortable. Talked about the butt pad and the adjustable stock. Everything here, the porting, everything here is designed to kind of optimize your shooting experience. I feel like, again, they killed it with this. That said, obviously the platform itself has certain ergonomic shortcomings, but I still think it's very well done. For ergonomics, we're going to give it a 7 out of a possible 10. All right, fam. Next up, aftermarket support, maintenance, and upkeep. Aftermarket support, there's a lot of aftermarket support for the M4. That said, there's absolutely nothing that really needs to be done to this gun. You got the tactical rail, you got the butt pad. Maybe I would add a side saddle like I have on my Benelli M4. The gun is done to the nines. It is really done to the nines. So while there is a lot of aftermarket support out there, look, let's not get crazy. It's not Glock or something like that. But still a lot for the M4 platform because the M4 platform has been around forever. So for aftermarket support, we're going to give it a 4 out of 5. And for maintenance and upkeep, very easy to maintain. We're going to give it a 4 out of 5 as well. All right, fam. Next up, affordability. So look, Orthos makes a series of shotguns. This is kind of the height of the optionality that comes with their shotguns. I'll put the MSRP up there, and I think the least expensive one is probably somewhere in the $1,100, $1,200 range. But look, fam, I gotta say, for all of the options that you get, the colorway, the tactical rail, the rail scales, the carbon, the porting, the adjustable stock, the butt pad, all the things, fam, I think it's an excellent bargain. Now, this goes down to the durability. We know that the Benelli M4 literally is a tank, and it is proven. That said, fam, as somebody who loves to shoot and who gets out and shoots my guns a lot, I mean, I'm not putting a lot of rounds through my M4. I'm just not. I don't, and that's me because I'm a shotgun guy. But I don't think, it's not, look, these are not pistols. Like, people aren't going to the range in one day and putting 1,000 rounds through a shotgun. It's not, that's not how they get down. If they do, then let me know down in the comments. If you out there putting 1,000 rounds through a shotgun in a day, you drop it down in the comments and I will send you out a patch and a keychain for that one. Because you deserve it, my friends. But yeah, I don't think you're going to put a very high round count through this gun. And so I don't know if the durability is going to be a big factor for most. So if you can get a gun that has all the features of my upgraded Benelli M4 and really way more features than the Benelli M4 out of the box at $400 cheaper than the Benelli out of the box price and $1,400 cheaper than my upgraded Benelli, then yeah, and some would argue it has a better aesthetic. So definitely something to think about there. I think it's pretty affordable. For affordability, we're going to give it a 4 out of a possible 5. Last but not least, flex. Is Instagram going to go crazy? Or your boy's going to be like, damn? I think so, fam. I think, look, fam, shotguns, look, can we just keep it real? Can we just keep it real? Most shotguns are not that sexy. Maybe it's just me. Most shotguns are not very sexy. I mean, I love the way my Benelli M4 looks. I love the way my Genesis shotgun looks. My Genesis is a limited edition though, and my Benelli is hooked up to the 9s. This comes this way out of the box at a price point that's, again, a fraction of my Benelli and even a smaller fraction of my Genesis limited edition. So yeah, fam, I'm giving it high points for flex. We're gonna give it a 4 out of a possible 5. All right, fam, look, if you add all of that up, you get an 86 out of a possible 100 for the Orthos Raiders S4 limited edition shotgun. Look, fam, that's high cotton. In my book, like I said, when you get 85, 89, we're talking about best in class, talking about a best in class rating for a Turkish import shotgun. I just think it is well made. It is feature rich, and man, it took me by surprise. I'm not going to lie. As you guys know, my hooked up Benelli M4 with all the upgrades scored an 89, and it's almost double the price of this once you factor in those upgrades. So for an out of the box score, this one is actually better than the Benelli M4 out of the box, simply because it's so feature rich. And the Benelli M4 is kind of bare bones out of the box. And so look, fam, they killed it. They killed it, in my opinion. Kudos to Orthos for producing an incredible, what appears to be an incredible firearm. Again, only 250 rounds to it, fam. I always like to be open and honest with you guys. I don't think that's enough to be like, this is better than the Benelli M4. When the Benelli M4 is tried, true, tested, etc. But I do feel comfortable enough to say this is a well-made, good shooting, feature-rich shotgun. And again, if is this the kind of gun you would want to go to war with, like with a Benelli? No. But for something like home defense, a range tool, I think is solid, because I don't think people are going to put enough rounds to it for it to self-destruct, if indeed it would. And so, yeah, fam, I think this is a buy for me. This is a buy for me. If I didn't already have an M4, I would definitely be considering picking this up. All right, fam, we want to shout out again 2A Zone for providing us the opportunity to review the Orthos Raider S4 Limited Edition. Appreciate you guys, as always, for consistently supporting the channel. Shout out to the 2A Zone team. All right, that's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.